so I just wanted to do some housekeeping. If you can hear me, if you could let me know in the question or chat box, that would be great. Again, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be getting started in a minute or so, and I'll look out to make sure you can hear me. Everyone else will be on mute for most of the, you will be on mute for most of the webinar, so definitely want to encourage you to interact via chat box. So let me know if you can hear me via chat box. Thank you so much. Wonderful. This is Lily again, and it looks like you guys can hear me. So we're going to get started. Before I do, want to let you know that my goal is to make this as interactive as possible, but because we're expecting a large number of folks and we have a lot to go through, I don't have people interact verbally. So again, you are all on mute. I do want to have you interact though. So I'd love to get your questions or comments via the question box / chat box. So please, I will be pausing and try to answer your questions as we go. Before we begin, I'm going to introduce myself, but start thinking about anything that you feel you want to get out of this webinar. What are the questions that you want answered? And I'm going to ask you, before I get into the meat of the presentation, for you to let me know, what is it that you want to find out during this webinar? And I'll do my best to cover it. If I don't have the answer or need to do some research, I will let you know and then get back to you immediately following the webinar, the latest at the beginning of next week. So start thinking about that, and let's get going. So as I mentioned, I want to make this as interactive as possible. So I have this beautiful PIHRA Padfolio that I will be giving out at the end of the webinar to whoever answers a trivia question that I will have. Very simple question, but it will show that you've been listening. So please, again, chat me up via the chat box or the question box, and hopefully you'll get to win this Padfolio. So my name is Lily Arguello. I'm there in the middle. I'm the membership manager, and I'm really excited about working with you all. I've been working with PIHRA since 2014, and I was a member before I ever dreamed of being on staff. And I have Elisette here with me as well. Elisette, you want to say hi?
Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. Thank you for joining us. My name is Elisette Tapia, and I'm the membership coordinator. And I'm also very happy, excited to get to know you guys. Hopefully we can connect and meet each other at the legal update coming up, at chapter meetings, at the conference. So if you ever see me, don't be shy, come and say hi. I'm also here helping Lily with some questions, so if you have questions, I'll be answering your questions via the chat box, so please feel free to be as engaged as possible, and hopefully you guys get a lot out of this webinar.
Great. Yeah, Elisa is my right hand here. She's likely to be the first person you speak to if you call us, and she'll respond to any technical or / membership questions that you have. Also on this page is Dylan Robertson. He's the VP of Membership Development. He's one of our volunteer leaders. He's very accessible, very high energy. Our contact information is on this slide. You will get these slides immediately following the webinar, so don't feel like you need to jot all this down, but feel free to reach out to each of us if you ever need anything. We want to make sure you get the most out of your membership, and we're really passionate about PIHRA, so don't hesitate. And I'll be talking a little bit about volunteer leadership throughout the webinar, so yeah, keep that in mind. I think it's a great way to gain visibility in the HR community and hone your leadership skills. So as I mentioned, I wanted you to think about what you want to get out of this webinar. What are the questions you want answered? And so if you can let me know now in the question box, what do you want to make sure to get out of this webinar? What information do you want so that I can cover it? And I'm sure that everyone else on the webinar is curious as to something that you're curious about. So I'm going to be looking out for those questions that come through. And again, just want to make sure you get the most out of this webinar. So, all right, what's the PIHRA mission? Just so you know, we just had a volunteer leadership summit at the beginning of December, and so we may have a new mission for you soon. But really what we do is we provide communities, professional development, and resources to advance the human resource profession and human resource professionals. And what I'm going to be covering today is, in essence, what are the communities that are out there for you related to PIHRA? What sorts of professional development do we offer? And what are the tools and resources that, as a member, you would have access to? So basically, that's what I'm going to be covering today. Just a little bit about PIHRA. PIHRA was established in 1944 as the Personnel and Industrial Relations Association. So a group of individuals, personnel managers, that's what HR managers were called back then, they got together and they wanted to discuss, where were they going in their career? What sort of knowledge, what sort of skills that they needed to continue to develop in the human resource area and to help employers and employees be the best they could be. So they got together, and their first meeting was in Los Angeles, actually downtown Los Angeles. And if any of you have been around for a long time at PIHRA or know someone who's been a PIHRA member for a long time, you might have heard him talk about district numbers. We have 17 chapters, and at some point in the past, they were called districts. And so our downtown LA chapter is District 1, and that's because the first group met there and they decided to establish PIHRA. And this is where I'd like to say PIHRA, who is the largest affiliate of SHRM in the nation, we were established before SHRM, as a matter of fact. So just so you know, SHRM was established in 1948, I believe some state in the Midwest, and I forget what state that was, but yeah, so we've been around for a long time. We are primarily volunteer-led, so on this screen, on this slide, you'll see that our president is Patty Ann Sprinkle. She's the 2018 and 19 president of the board of directors. She has over 30 years of experience in human resources, and she recently retired and has done a lot of great work, and she's helping us reformulate our mission and vision. And we did actually recently completed research and getting input into a board redesign. So we're implementing that in 2019, and she's been great and also very accessible, so if you ever have any questions. But she's a volunteer leader, and we couldn't do it without our volunteer leaders. All 17 of our chapters are led by volunteers. Each of them have a board, and once individuals have that experience at the chapter level, there are, I think, now there's around 10 opportunities to be on the larger board. So it's just a great way to be known and to hone your skills and to also be recognized as a leader in the workplace, because I think that once you develop that mindset and those skills, you take them into the workplace. Also on the slide is our fearless leader on the staff. So we have right now 9 staff members, and we're growing. And Rafael Rivera is our executive director. He's been with PIHRA for, I believe, almost 8 years now. And yeah, I really credit him for the growth that PIHRA has experienced in the last 4 or 5 years, and also our conference. If you have not attended the California HR conference, please attend. It's really grown and developed an amazing brand, and it's a lot because of Rafael. So we have a great team here. Just a little bit about who our members are. I already mentioned that we are the largest SHRM affiliate. We have 17 chapters in 5 counties. It's Los Angeles County, San Bernardino County, Riverside County, Ventura County, and I'm missing one. Ventura County, Orange County. Hi. In Orange County, we have over 4,100 members. We're actually right above 4,200 members now, and right around 40% are at the manager level or generalist level. 24% are HR directors and above. 11% of our members are what we call service providers. Those are individuals who are complement the HR individual. So they're insurance brokers, maybe financial advisors, staffing folks, training, HR consultants. So that 11% is comprised of that sort of individual. 35.5% of our members are HR certified through HRCI or SHRM. So if you have a PHR, SPHR, or SHRM CP, or SHRM SCP, that's you. You're part of that 35%. And so that means to me that our members take being certified very seriously, and it's a very important tool to have as a professional to be certified. And let's see what else is interesting. Our members, most of our members, or a large portion of our members, are either in the manufacturing industry, in the consulting industry, or healthcare, and 35% have organizations or work in organizations with between 100 and 499 employees. So a lot of our members work for larger organizations. All right. So what is the membership? I don't see any questions.
No questions.
So I apologize. I didn't pause sooner. Again, please let me know if there's something that you definitely need to get out of this webinar, because I want to make sure you do. Anyway, what's the membership worth? And so I've been able to monetize it for members, and it's around a $3,000 value for $150 per year. And in 2019, we're expanding our membership. So today, this is what you got. You got the face-to-face networking. I got to tell you, when I speak to members, that's what they tell me. They've made lifelong friends and sounding boards here. So the people they meet at PIHRA stay in their lives for a long time. I like to say this is where you're going to meet your HR board of directors or your personal board of directors when you have an issue. You know, I think HR is like an art. You never know what you're going to get, and there's never a black and white answer. So this is where you're going to find those people that you can call on when you're dealing with something that you haven't dealt before, that's a little trickier, and you'll be able to reach out to someone who perhaps has had a similar experience. So it's really priceless, those connections that you make. You also get access to Ask an HR Advisor, which is a telephone-based HR consulting service, and you just call them. I've called them before. They give me great input, and also follow up with any documentation via email. So just for you to buy that would be $1,200 for the 12 calls that you get. We have an award-winning HR compliance center. There's an employee handbook builder, job description builder, and thousands and hundreds, or maybe it's hundreds of sample forms, memos, and checklists. There's a compensation tool on there. There's webinars. Saying that's around $1,000 is conservative. Just the job description builder and the employee handbook builder would cost you $1,000. So that's a great resource if you need those things, and it really makes your job easier. There's also employment law summaries for each of our 50 states, so it's a lot. There's savings that you get on all of our educational programs and monthly programs and conferences. You have access to Career Arc, Your Next Step, which is an online tool to help individuals in job discovery and career transitions. And then we have also partner discounts, as you see here. So just a lot that you get for $150 a year. This is a great tool if you need to convince your boss or supervisor or CFO to make this investment in you for this membership. This is a great tool for you to show them. In 2009, I'm really excited. We're expanding our member benefits. So you saw on the previous slide our base offering. For no additional price this year, instead of just a federal employee handbook builder, you get the all 50 state handbook builder. So that would include California laws. And you just update it online and then download it. So if you need to redo your employee handbook builder, you want to get this membership. Instead of just 12 calls to the Ask an HR Advisor live, you get unlimited calls next year. You get everything related to the Compliance Center, monthly newsletters. You get the HRCI certified webinars. I think there's like 4 a year, and to get the certification, you need to participate live. But the big wow this year is you get PIHRA Learn, or Think HR Learn, which is an enterprise-wide online learning platform. It includes the AB 1825 sexual harassment training that's mandatory for all managers. And next year, I think it's going to be I think everyone in an organization is going to have to go through that training. So it's all online. It's all in this. You wouldn't have to pay more money, so it's a real no-brainer. There's over 250 courses on this system, and as an HR manager, you can administer all of those. You can create learning tracks. It's just amazing. So if you have any questions on that, just the Learn is $10,000 a year. So you're getting that for $150. It's just amazing. I'm so excited for that. This is just to add about us. PIHRA knows California. This is where you're going to learn about California employment law at our PIHRA legal update coming up in January. And Elise had already mentioned that. Opportunities to meet people who work here in California and have worked in California HR for many years. We have consistent monthly programming at our 17 chapters. So if you haven't joined, here's a promo code. You get $15 off for joining. So feel free to share that with your colleagues or anybody else. Any questions yet? Oh my God, we have a pretty quiet group.
Yeah.
I hope you can hear me. All right, so let's talk. I really emphasize the community building and networking at PIHRA just because I think it's so important. So here's a map of where our chapters are. Oh, I see a question, so I'll finish this and let me know. So here's a map of our chapters. We go as far north as Antelope Valley, Santa Clarita, and Ventura County. Our Ventura County group meets out of Camarillo. Antelope Valley meets out of Palmdale, and Santa Clarita, they meet out of, I believe it's Newhall.
Yeah.
I think they meet out of Newhall. We go far east, Escachella Valley. They meet out of Desert Hot Springs. So it's a great group there. We go as far south as Southwest Riverside. They meet out of Temecula. And our South Orange County chapter meets out of Newport Beach. And they're our largest chapter. They have up to 100 people attend their meetings every month. So they're awesome. We have District 1, our Los Angeles chapter, meets in downtown LA at the City Club. They're our second largest chapter, but they don't have, their monthly meetings are not as highly attended as South OC. I think it's just because of the parking and getting in and out of downtown LA. So, and then we go as far west as PIHRA West LA and PIHRA South Bay. West LA, they usually meet out of Brentwood, and our South Bay group meets out of in Hawthorne at the Ayers Hotel. Our staff is at that red bubble. We actually work out of an office in Gardena, and you're more than welcome to come by our office. So, but as a member, you can go to any of the chapter meetings and still receive the member discount. So.
I don't see a question.
There wasn't a question? Maybe there was a hand raised.
Maybe, but there's no question.
So I'm not taking questions over the phone, but if you do have a question, please put it in the chat box. I want to hear from you. Please, please. All right, so let's keep going here. Like I said, we had 4,300 members at one point. Right now, we're right under 4,300 members, but they represent right around 2,400 companies. You can go to the Legal Update and network with them. We actually have some complimentary socials planned immediately after the Legal Update in San Diego. Oh, and by the way, we're wanting to grow, and there's a lot of people in northern San Diego County who want to start a chapter. So we're looking to start a chapter there next year, and we'll be in La Jolla on January 30th. So if you're in that area and want to go to a complimentary reception, I'd love to meet you. We're also likely to have a complimentary reception at our Burbank Legal Update, which is, I believe, is January 22nd. So feel free to come out there. Our California HR conference is a great place to meet and learn with new people, so please think about that. On top of our 17 chapters, we have 3 special interest groups, and so I want to introduce you to the PIHRA Foundation. The PIHRA Foundation is its own 501c3, and their primary purpose is to work in the community, mostly at the high schools and college levels, to go through mock interviews and talk to people about the HR career and help people with their first jobs out of high school and college, and also to fundraise. So they fundraise to offer HR certification scholarships and HR degree scholarships. They have 2 scholarship rounds, one in the spring and one in the fall. Their last one, the deadline was this last November 16th. They also offer 2 stipends, so free registrations to the California HR Conference. And those applications usually go out in the May-June timeframe, and the deadline's usually the first week in July. And they host a silent auction at the California HR Conference. It's so fun. It's another opportunity to volunteer, so if you want to get involved in the foundation, you can. The URL here will get you directly to them, and or you can ask me, and I'll love to make an introduction for you. We also have Club PIHRA. This is the organization that I like to say is the fun side of HR. They have lots of fun. They do quarterly events, but their main purpose is to work with HR professionals who are responsible for employee recognition events or employee engagement events like the Christmas party, the summer picnic, monthly lunches, things like that. So they're going to introduce you and want you to meet up with them at local venues. So for example, their last event was at the Commerce Casino, which is a beautiful venue. Their quarterly events are awesome. So basically, they have a vendor fair, so you can meet all of those folks that may be of interest to you as you plan for your next event. So event planners, people who can connect you with different venues like the LA County Fair venue, the Magic Mountain venue, Knott's Berry Farm, House of Blues, and caterers and things like that. Then they'll do a program, so you can actually get HR certification credit at these events. There'll be a meal, and then they'll have some sort of fun portion. So I think at the Commerce Casino, they were teaching blackjack. They did one at Magic Mountain, and you were able to enter the park after the event for the entire day, and it was only like $40. So I even wanted to take my daughter to that one. So this is a great group. They're fun, and you could earn HR certification credit. So there you go. And our third special interest group is the PIHRA Young Professionals, and this is a group I feel very connected with. I helped launch the Young Professionals in 2015, and they're here to engage, equip, and encourage young professionals who are currently working in or are interested in HR. So that also includes students. We actually have, now I think we have 8 student chapters. So, we're really passionate, or I'll speak to myself, I'm really passionate about working with young people and students and really kind of building that pool of next generation human resource professionals. So the young professionals meet around quarterly. Sometimes they do a community service event. Recently they met up at a food pantry and helped package foods for lower income and homeless families. That was at the beginning of December. Last night they met at Bar Louie for a social. And it's just a great way for them to connect with peers and meet people who can help them, and they could help others progress in their career. You don't have to be young. I'm not necessarily young anymore, but I do attend these events, so everyone's welcome. And if you know of someone who is starting off in the career or a student, please encourage them to follow the YPs on Twitter or sign up for notifications at this URL. Or find them on LinkedIn. They have a great LinkedIn group as well. No questions yet. Wow. Volunteer opportunities. I've talked about this several times. I want to encourage you to volunteer. It's just a great way to, I've met my boss, Rafael Rivera, through a volunteer opportunity I had around 10 years ago. I helped launch the professional chapter of the Women MBA group, and he was working with the National Society of Hispanic MBAs at the time. And I didn't meet him, actually, but I do remember working with that group at the time, and I went off to have a child, and so he continued to work, and met a friend of mine who I helped, who we worked together to launch, and that's how we connected, and that's how I got to PIHRA. So never underestimate volunteering. There's various ways to volunteer. You could take on more of a heavy commitment, or even just kind of an ad hoc commitment. You could volunteer at our conference or a legal update, or you can be on a committee, or you can be on the board, which is always a great idea to build your resume, and then be an executive committee member. So if you want more information on that, just feel free to go to PIHRA.org/volunteers. I love the volunteers at PIHRA. They're just great. And just know that there's 17 chapters. So if you don't connect with one group, find another group. It's just a great way to build yourself up and also give back. want to make sure that you connect with people. It's December 14th, so there's not a lot of events coming, from now till New Year's. So I apologize. All of them just already happened. But we do have a couple of receptions happening in January. I mentioned the one at immediately following the legal update. I think there might be a couple others. So check our calendar. Go to PIHRA.org/calendar frequently. If there's not an event, there's probably a very interesting topic happening. I know at PIHRA Long Beach in January, they're having a very interesting topic on communications and some tools that might help you at the workplace or even you personally, So check some things out. Make a commitment in 2019. I'm going to tell you right now, make a commitment to get out at least once a quarter. You do not want to stop networking. Even if you have the job of your dreams, don't stop networking. It's very important. You don't want to wait until you're getting laid off or there's an issue at work to get to know people or for them to get to know you, because there's always a concern. I know that I tend to not go out sometimes, and it's really important. So try to make that commitment for yourself. There's always a way to network, even online nowadays. So if you don't want to get out, or you're a little shy like I am, do it online. So go to the PIHRA forum often. That's an online kind of bulletin board that we have. You can go to our PIHRA LinkedIn group. Our LinkedIn group is getting even more and more engaged. Or you can connect with us on Facebook as well. There's a lot of engagement going on there. All right, I'm going to pause a second. Is something not working? I see. Maybe it's the holidays. I get you. So I won't push too much. But again, please let me know if you have any questions as we continue forward. All right, I talked about online networking. For some reason, my cursor doesn't work. Okay. You could also do some networking on our site through PIHRA Social Link. So when you log in, you will log in and likely get to a page like this. And this is where you're going to be able to do a lot of things that you need to do with PIHRA. So for example, you could pay for your membership here. Let's see if I have some tools here. You could go to Quick Links, and through Quick Links, you could renew your membership. You can register for an event through the community calendar. The My Feed, this is the My Feed page that you're looking at. This is where you can write something in. It looks a lot like Facebook, so if you want to connect with others or ask a question. We're trying to beef up interaction here, so you feel free to help us out. I think a lot of our interaction now happens on LinkedIn or Facebook currently, but so I just want you to know that there are a lot of resources. If you go to my profile and click on that, that's where you can be able to update your contact information. You might also want to shoot me and Elisette a note if you're moving or changing emails, especially if you're changing emails, because your email is connected to a lot of your membership benefits, so you might want to just let us know. So that's that. And what else do we have going on? Rachel joined, and go back. So what's next here? I think the learning is next, if I can get to it. Yeah, let's talk about the professional development that we offer. So as members, you get a discount. I think I already mentioned that, but it's at least a $15 savings at each of our events. And what we have coming up that's really big is a PIHRA legal update. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is for you to get updated on the laws coming up. We actually have a little law quiz that we're sending out to people. And if you get less than 70% on this quiz, you need to go to Legal Update. It's a great way to begin thinking about what you need to plan for, what exposures your organization might be looking for. I mean, we have laws coming out on sexual harassment. We have wage and hour laws. We have new laws related to if someone is an independent contractor or not. We have lactation laws coming out. So a lot of things that may be affecting you and that you need to be considering as you start your business planning or finish your business planning in January in your budgeting process. So we're going to be in Anaheim, Riverside, Burbank, and La Jolla. We're in Anaheim at the Marriott in Anaheim on the 10th of January. In Riverside, I think it's the 16th. It's that Wednesday. Let's see. Yes, the 16th. We're at the Riverside Convention Center. I believe on the 22nd of January, we're at the Burbank Marriott, Airport Marriott, and on the 30th, we're at the La Jolla Marriott in northern San Diego. So don't miss out on that. It's going to be a great event. We have online learning. So most of our conferences are all online and on demand. If there is a possibility, opportunity to purchase those if you haven't already purchased them. And then we have webinars once a month. I couldn't see anything in January, so maybe in February we'll have a webinar just because we're pretty loaded with legal update. If you can't attend legal update, you probably can get it online too. It just takes us like 2 or 3 months to get that online. Tools and discounts. So I talked about the award-winning compliance center, and our PIHRA Live and PIHRA Learn. So I'm going to talk a little bit more detail about that. And we have some time, right? I'm doing good on time. So, okay, let's get going in that. So just so you know, we are working on a single sign-on method for you to get on our compliance center, but it's still not live yet. So there is a separate sign-on. You would go to this URL here, PIHRA.org/workplace, and sign in. Your username is usually the primary email we have for you on our file, and then the password they send you as soon as you sign up, and we could resend you the welcome email from ThinkHR as well, but that welcome email is what you'll use to create a password. So if you haven't gotten that, just reach out to me and Elisette, and we'll make sure that we resend you that welcome email so that you can have access to this, because there's so much there. So that's the first challenge. PIHRA Live, this is a telephone-based consulting service. You get live advisors 11 hours a day. They're all senior HR certified professionals. They'll answer your call 98% of the time the same day, even on your initial call. So it's just a great resource if you need to just get a second opinion really quickly. I think there was a question. Let me pause. Sorry. You did? Okay, let's see if there's something we could share. Is it something we can share?
They just want to know if we're going to email the deck after the call.
Okay, yes. So we are going to email this presentation to everybody immediately following the webinar. So thank you. Okay. So PIHRA Comply, this is the Compliance Center. This is what you're going to get in there. HR news and headlines, the job description builder, the employee handbook builder. There's a performance reviewing tool, policies and forms, white papers, webinars. It's just so much there. Let's just make sure. Okay, Lisa, I do see the question. We'll answer that question for you separately, but she says that she got her membership through the California HR conference in 2018. So thank you for attending that conference, Lisa, and I know a lot of you might have gotten a new membership while you were there. So yes, we will verify when you need to renew. But I want to encourage you to attend some events. I want you to find value in PIHRA after the conference. A lot of people go to conference and then, they don't attend a meeting or they don't use the tools. So I'm so glad that you're on the webinar, and love to hear, what are the things that you'd like to see more of following conference. So thank you for joining. All right, let me move on. For some reason my cursor gets stuck after a while. So, PIHRA Learn, this is what you guys are going to be getting at no charge next year. So I'm really excited about it. It's actually 250 interactive courses. There's you would have access to 30 minutes of advice on how to set up training tracks. You could train an unlimited number of employees. People can take tests on their own and print out their own certificates after they finish a course, and they can present that to you for credit if you need to ensure. You can see that they took the course on the back end. So it's integrated with the PIHRA workplace, so you would sign on that way. And I'm just wowed by this. If you had to purchase this on your own, it'd be at least $10,000 a year. So it's a great, and that'll be live for everybody in January. Pretty much January 1st, but I want to give myself a couple weeks in case there's any glitches. So if you're not a member, I would join, because this is awesome. You'll be able to train all your employees this way. It's just such a wonderful add-on. We have a career center. PIHRA members save 20% more or less on a job, to post a job. If you're on the job market and looking for a job, our members get, I think once or twice a month, they get an email push of the hottest local HR jobs. We also have a feed going through our Twitter account, our LinkedIn, I believe our Facebook, pushing out HR job listings. So stay. That's another reason why you want to join our LinkedIn, or at least like our Facebook page, or like our follow our LinkedIn company page, because if you're looking for that next great opportunity, you want to be looking out for that. Here's your next step, which is a career transition support platform. I really like this thing. The one thing that caught my attention is that they have this webcam, so you can videotape yourself answering questions or making a presentation, and that's so key in the interview process. I mean, obviously the networking is what's going to get you the interview, but your presentation and your speaking style is going to get you the job, and you want to make sure that you're coming off as confident and professional and dynamic. Obviously, it depends on the culture of where you're interviewing, but for the most part, that's what people are looking for: someone smart, someone articulate, and confident. So this is a great tool to help you practice videotaping yourself. If you don't have this, then you better be practicing in the mirror. My colleague sometimes walks in on me, and I am videotaping myself on my phone just to see, what am I doing? Because I have a lot of weird nonverbals that I do. So at least accept yourself that way, right? Okay, what time? I've got a couple minutes. We have free customized employee training for qualified PIHRA companies. So this is a great asset. So we're working with an organization called Custom Corporate Communications. Troy is awesome, and they have some funding from the state to give you and your organization free training. Yes, free training. I went to the Oakley Sunglasses headquarters. They get free training. They were doing a Six Sigma training. So call this number if you want to get free training, or find out if you are eligible to get free training for your organization. Member discounts, we get discounts at Cal Chamber, at Quick Park. You get academic scholarships through Brandman University and UCLA Extension, so check out that site. If you're ever in your pajamas and it's after hours and you need to do something on our site, please go to member resources and website FAQs, member how-to guide. I'm hoping that those guides will help you through whatever you're doing. If not, just call me, Nellie Sett, and we'll help you through that. All right, if you're a SHRM member, please let us know and fill out the primary chapter designation form. SHRM will invest part of your SHRM membership money back into PIHRA so that we can continue to serve you with great professional development and networking opportunities. And communication. So please be prepared. You will get communication via email from PIHRA. We are working on texting, but let us know if you have any concerns about that. We do a check-in with new members via email. You'll, on a weekly basis, get the PIHRA HR weekly newsletter. You'll get notifications about programs coming up at your preferred chapter. So when you join, you will select a preferred chapter, but you can get invitations to any of our chapter meetings. You just have to sign up for them at PIHRA.org/stayinformed, and you'll get special notifications about seminars and conferences. If you want to contact us, we're all very, very accessible. So you get all our emails and phone numbers on this slide. And connect with us online. Please do connect with us. If you do not join PIHRA, I understand, but please join some sort of professional organization that will help you in your career, or even personal organizations that you're passionate about. Like, I belong to the Women's Club of my city, and I do work that I'm really passionate about, and it really helps me, build my community. It's so, so important to build your own community. So I want you to do it with PIHRA, but if not, do it with another organization. I really encourage you to get out there and stay connected. Well, I don't think I've ever ended before time, but I am. I'm ending before time. So now for our trivia question. Thank you so much for being on. Still got some people actively on. So if you want to win the Padfolio, I will give it to the first person who writes in the answer in the question box. Okay, so drum roll please. The first person who tells me the year in which PIHRA was established wins the Padfolio. D, you win. D and Mommy, thank you so much. PIHRA was established in 1944 in downtown Los Angeles. D, we will email you to make sure we got your correct address to send you the Padfolio. We'll send it out either today or Monday, so please expect it. Thank you all so much for either being PIHRA members or being on the call today, and have a very lovely holiday. Take care, and hope to see you at Legal Update in January. Call me anytime. Email is best. Take care. Bye-bye.